All we have to do is find out who walked in during Julia's call to the pharmacy, and we'll probably know who murdered her.
But she was alive when I left her. I told you that, Jack, and that's what Carly said,
It sure
too.
looks that way.
So you believe me? You think someone else is the killer?
The pharmacist doesn't have any reason to lie about his conversation with Julia, and since we know the exact time of the phone call, we also know that you weren't there.
Well, somebody interrupted that call, and somebody was there and killed my sister.
And Tom said he cannot reopen the case without new evidence. Does this qualify?
I'll tell him what we found out, and maybe he can do something about getting you out of here, okay?
From your mouth to God's ears. Yes.
You hang in there, all right?
Thanks. I can't almost believe this. We're finally gonna find out who murdered your sister.
Let's hope so.
This is incredible. I might actually get to go home.
Yeah, I know how anxious you are to see your kids and everything.
That's all I've been thinking about. Are the milestones that I would miss. You know, the birthdays, the proms, the first dates and weddings, and now I finally see a way out, thanks to you.
Well, you know, thank me just yet. You know, we've still got a few things to take care of here. We're not quite out of the woods.
I know, but there's hope. I haven't had hope in such a long time.
All right, come on now. Everything's gonna be okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. You know, you were just trying to protect your son, you know, and when you go to jail for that, that tells me a lot. I mean, you're a very brave girl.
Brave. Crazy.
Well, you know, it's a good combination, both of those. Now listen, you will get through this. Okay?
What's going on?
I can't believe this, but I might actually be going home.
Home?
Yeah.
What happened?
Jack, he went over the phone records again and saw that Julia made a phone call to some unknown person after I left her in the apartment.
The time of the call was in the records.
And I was with Carly at that time, so she could testify to that.
Right, so if Julia was able to make the call, then Lily couldn't have killed her. Therefore, somebody else did it.
This is great news. This is the best news that I've heard in a very long time.
Lily tell you the latest?
Yeah.
That we may have a new suspect, whomever that might be.
So does this mean that she can go home?
No, I'm afraid not. There's still some questions that need to be cleared up.
Such as?
How do you explain the note that Keith found? The one that you wrote to Julia threatening to kill her? I need to know how Keith came to be in possession of the letter.
The letter, it was just a bunch of words. It doesn't prove anything.
It proves intent.
Maybe, but isn't it enough to know that Julia was alive when we left the apartment?
The letter indicates premeditation. Add that to Lily's confession, and we can't just sweep that under the rug, can we? Unless Lily would like to explain to me why I shouldn't consider it.
I planted the evidence. After she showed it to me, I thought it would bolster her confession, so I told Jack I found her at the scene of the crime.
Listen, the whole time you were committing a crime of your own, weren't you, Keith?
Don't blame Keith. It's not his fault. I confessed. I forced his hand.
How did you do that?
I told him that I would confess to killing Julia if he told the police that he found the letter. He didn't know I was lying to protect Luke, and he didn't know that the letter was a lie either.
Then you're both guilty of tampering with evidence, and that is a felony. I'll have to bring charges against both of you for that. I'm sorry. I know you were hoping for an early release, but we need to deal with these new charges.
So if you can't convict her of murder, you'll go after her for trying to protect our son.
Lily and Keith just stood here and confessed to planting fraudulent evidence. Why don't you tell them what that means, Jack?
It's a Class 5 felony, punishable by imprisonment for up to 10 years.
You can't send her to prison over this.
I don't write the law, Holden. I represent it, but I can't make this go away.
Not even if you want to.
There have been more than enough improprieties, wouldn't you say? There are a lot of people that work in the DA's office, the state's attorney's office, and the media. They're watching this case closely, and I have to answer to them.
Can I talk to you outside for a second?
Sure. Excuse us.
I guess I owe you an apology.
No. All that matters right now is finding out who really killed Julia and getting Lily home so she can be with her kids.
What if I had one of my guys in the lab take a look at that letter, Lily wrote? If he concludes it's a forgery, we could get it tossed out as evidence.
Enough crimes have been committed, Jack.
And it's time to make things right. We both know that the real crime here would be putting Lily behind bars. She did what she did because she loves her son so much she doesn't want to see him suffer. Parents do that.
Not all parents.
Hey, if Casey was in the same situation as Luke, you have no idea what you'd do. Ease up, Tom, please. Let the punishment fit the crime.
So you want the DA to break the law?
No, I want my friend to let Lily go home and see her kids. I'm not saying what she did was right, but you don't want to pursue these charges any more than I do. Let's bury the letter and let Lily get on with her life.
How'd it go? Did you get time to drop the new charges?
I tried. No go.
I was afraid you would say that.
Once the murder charges are gone, there's still a chance you can get out on bail.
Should I call Jess?
Definitely. Once you get the judge's approval, we can at least get you out of here for a while.
You got a minute, Jack.
Just step into my office.
So how do you feel?
Can't stop thinking about just going home, seeing my babies.
They're gonna be very excited to see you.
I want to read them stories. I want to just hug them, and I want to wake up to Faith jumping on my bed.
Well, I'm sure she'll deliver on that.
Do a midnight run at the refrigerator with Luke and sit across from the table from him and just talk about his day. You know, ever since Julia died, I have not had one moment of peace. And now that I can say that I didn't do it, that I wasn't the one that killed her, I feel like I have a second chance.
His fax just came through.
Thanks.
Is that about Julia's case?
All the incoming calls on Julia's cell phone on the night she was murdered. Check this out. This number here, look at the time. Somebody called her just before she made that call to the pharmacy.
Yeah, well, where did it originate from?
Looks like a payphone exchange. So someone could have called her from a phone booth somewhere and showed up and killed her. I think we have a new lead on a new suspect.